Hey guys, and welcome back to Chocolate Frog 101. If you have ever watched any videos on this channel, you will know that I love to read. And I think that everybody should make time in their day to just sit down and read a book. But not everybody has very much time to do that. So today I will be giving you all of my tips on how to read more and how to find time to read more, and also how to want to read more. So let's get started. So the first thing that you need to do is establish the why. Ask yourself, why do I want to read more? Maybe because you need to read more for school, or maybe because you're in a book club. It could be anything, really. What is that one thing in your head that is nagging you saying, I have to read more? Make sure that this reason keeps you really motivated and it makes you want to read more whenever you say it to yourself. For me, it's so many books, so little time. There are so many books in the world that I haven't read yet, and I don't have very much time to read them all. So that kind of makes me want to read more, but I want you to find one personal thing that you always want to tell yourself in order to read more. When you are motivated to read more, then you will read more. One of the most simple and easiest ways to start reading more is to put reading into your morning and night routines. I put reading into my morning routine and it actually helped me so well. And I also read at night. I advise you to read instead of go on your phone at night because it's so much better for you, and you can also read a lot more at night. So I know that some of you may not have time to read in the morning, so one thing that you can do is just wake up 10 minutes early and start reading. I know that sounds kind of hard, but if you wake up at 7 like I do every day, then you can wake up at 6:50 if you don't have time in the morning. That way you have 10 extra minutes to read in the morning. So this tip is actually so crazy how helpful it is. That tip is to read for half an hour every day without fail. Just do it. We were required to read for half an hour every day last school year, and I read half an hour every day, including the weekends, and by the end of the year, I was reading for about 2 hours every day without feeling like I had read a lot. But by the end of the year, I was like, 2 hours is not enough time. So I really highly suggest putting a lot of self-discipline on this. Read for half an hour every day and it just works so well. Trust me on this. Another thing that I would recommend doing is that if you know you're going to be waiting or relaxing in one way or another, you should definitely bring a book. So if you're just at the beach with your family, that would be a great place to bring your book. And if you were just on a long car ride or maybe waiting in the doctor's office, I would again recommend to bring a book. Okay, here is one of the more important ones. Audiobooks are your best friends. Where do I even start with this? Again, with the taking a book wherever you go, audiobooks really help with this because you can now multitask while reading and doing something else. So for example, if you were reading a book on audio, then you could play it while doing the laundry or doing any kind of chore. Or I actually listen to audiobooks when I sleep at night. It helps me to get to bed. And this may not be the case for you, but it actually really helps me fall asleep. If you are a bookworm, you've probably already done this, but if you are just getting started, I suggest that you get a library card. There's just a bunch of books at the library. I get most of my books from the library, and I always get all these new books, and one of the main things that I feel people struggle with is they don't have new books to read, and you kind of need new books. I think the best thing to feel inspired to read more is to surround yourself with books. So I have talked a lot about this on my channel already, but start a commonplace book. This is just so motivational, and it gets you really excited about reading your next book and finishing your current book. So I have made a video about commonplace books, so go check it out by clicking right here, and this will tell you all about how to make a commonplace book. And if you need ideas for books that you want to read, I suggest going onto Goodreads and finding some books on there. One thing that you need to make sure that you do if you want to read more is to find out what you want to read specifically. So Goodreads is a great place for that. Now here is one of the most important things that you need to do if you want to read more. And that is to only read books that you like. And this may not make sense, let me explain. So I'm not saying that you should only read fantasy if you only like fantasy. You should definitely read a bunch of different books, a bunch of different genres, a bunch of different authors, and all different kinds of books. If you don't like a book, just stop reading it. Don't force yourself to read something that you end up not liking. It is the worst thing that you could do. If you don't like the book that you're reading, you're not going to want to read it, and that makes you read less, and our goal is to read more. In the end, the most important thing that you need to think about is, what did you learn about this book? When you finish a book, take a minute and think about it. What was the message that the author was trying to give while writing this book? What were the characters' personalities, and why did they do the things that they did? What were some of the major themes of this book, and what made you think that these were the themes? If you do this, you will get so much more out of the book that you just finished. There's so many books, so little time. So the best way to read more and get the most out of the books that you're reading is to think about it. Just take a minute or two after you finish each book that you finish. I hope these tips helped you if you are struggling to read more, and if you want to read more, and yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos about reading and books. So that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!